Hello, my name is Christian, and in this video, which is the 00 introduction video, I am introducing a tutorial series. The goal of the series is to help people make fast and free websites. Now, the tools I am going to focus on are Github Pages. Github Pages is, let's say, a function within GitHub. This is GitHub, GitHub's logo. We are already within GitHub. I have created a repository, which is kind of like a folder where I made a file, a readme.md file, and I'm reading from here. If you wanted to find out more about what GitHub Pages are, then please just Google it and you find the relevant page, which should be pages.github.com. This one. There is a pretty good short video that explains everything much better than I could. Okay, so I definitely encourage you to watch that. It's short. Okay, so in the series we will use GitHub Pages, HTML programming language, later Markdown, which is also a programming language that is turned into HTML. Then Jekyll, which is a static site generator. Let's say something like an alternative to WordPress or Drupal or Wix. Then let me just talk a tiny bit about the 8 videos I already made. In the first one, I'll go through signing up to GitHub. So that's just like registering, creating an account. And then in the second one, we'll create a repository, which is kind of like a folder, and turn that folder into a website. Of course, we will have to put something in that folder, and that will be an index.html file. Now, then in the third video, I quickly go through something that's a tiny bit annoying for a while, I guess, which is that if you make changes to the website within the GitHub account with this kind of editing tool, then sometimes it takes a while to see the changes published, so the changes in the website that other people see as well. But I mention here that you shouldn't really worry about it, because in the later videos we will focus on editing our websites and previewing our websites on the computer. Now, in the fourth video, I quickly introduced the idea of the custom domain, which again is the domain which you need to buy. It's very easy to connect a domain that you buy from a domain registrar to a GitHub repository. We will do that in a later video. I just really wanted to make sure you understand that you can have your own custom domain connected to the website developed in GitHub. Then in the fifth video, we will, so this is already called Web02. Web01 is a very simple website with one file. Web02 is a one-pager website, which actually has 3 pages. It's a multilingual website having 3 versions of the same homepage, a Chinese, an English, a Chinese, and a Hungarian version. I'll just simply go through setting this website up. The idea will be to download files from one of my repositories and upload them into one of your new repositories. In the 6th video, we will start editing the files for this website, the HTML files basically. And then in the 6th video, we will do the editing within the GitHub account. So with this little button, we will go in the editing mode of the relevant HTML files. In the 7th video, we will streamline, as I say here, streamline our workflow by making changes to the website on our computer. So we will download the files, make the changes on our computer, and then re-upload the files to have them actually published. Then in the 8th video, we will further streamline our workflow by using something like a middleman that will help us clone our repositories to the computer and then re-upload the files which were changed. So I here talk a tiny bit about what's coming. Yes, in the next videos I'll go through Markdown and how to start using Markdown instead of HTML, which is a much easier language to make websites with. Of course, later we will have to use HTML again, but it's good to know about Markdown because because it's pretty fast to make changes to content with, for example. And then in the third website, if this was the second website and this was the third one, first one, in the third website we will be looking at a Jekyll website that is a more, let's say, a more complicated but also a more sophisticated multilingual website. Okay, I think that kind of sums it up, and I don't want to talk too much here because I kind of explained everything in the videos. One tiny thing that I need to maybe also mention is that just after I finished the 8th video, GitHub updated their whole design when it comes to their website. And for example, if I go back to the root of this repository, so for example, these buttons, sometimes the clone button and whatever is underneath, if it cannot be found here but in the sidebar, then don't worry, you will find everything easily because the changes they made yesterday or the day before yesterday are not they are trivial. Basically, it's just like some design changes. I think, as far as I understand, the main changes they made are, when it comes to the design of a root of a repository, is that these buttons were in the sidebar, and what you see here, the about and then often a link, were here in the header. So this and this kind of swapped. Okay, this is how you get into the description, and then here, this is the part where we usually, in the videos later, we add a link to our websites. Okay, so yeah, so it shouldn't really make a difference when it comes to following what I'm talking about in the videos ahead. All right, so I hope you enjoy, and because it will be on YouTube, please comment and ask me questions. Have fun.